Tony's the one that's got to get back in the win column. You know, he's on a 2-fight losing streak, whereas Dariush is on a 6-fight winning streak. If Dariush gets a win over Tony Ferguson, I mean, it's literally the only way is up. I forgot to pull up the UFC rankings. I will do that right now. But, you know, with that in mind, Dariush is not the one in the situation where he has to take a massive amount of risk. Something that stuck out in my mind that he mentioned in the Countdown show was that whatever Tony Ferguson does, he needs to do more. He needs to have a higher volume of striking, which is very difficult to do against Tony Ferguson. You know, if we look at the stats, strikes landed per minute, average strikes landed per minute, Tony Ferguson is 5.46, whereas Dariush is 4.0. You know, there is a definite edge for Tony Ferguson. He's also used to fighting over longer periods of time. You know, he did 5 rounds against RDA in Mexico City. You know, we remember what Sea Level Kane looked like in Mexico City. It takes it out of you. You know, you're fighting at altitude. And Tony looked great. So you've got to think this is a 3-round fight. Tony Ferguson can be foot on the gas, 4th to 5th gear all the way through this one. And Dariush is not the fastest of starters. You know, he does kind of take it steady. He does kind of walk his way into the fight and, you know, play the technical game. You know, he's a very cerebral individual. You can see him analyzing his opponent as he's breaking them down. I think Tony Ferguson's going to come and really try and push the pace in this one and try and prove a point, hold his position in the division. Here we go. My rankings are up. So Tony Ferguson's at 5th. Dariush is at 9. And this is the furthest Tony Ferguson's been from the belt in a long time. You know, he was on a 12-fight win streak before those 2 losses, and he was rolling through good guys as well. You know, it's not like he was just eating up weak competition. You know, you look at that recent win streak that he's had before the losses, Cowboy, Pettis, Kevin Lee, and he's stopping all of these guys. RDA, a unanimous decision in Mexico City. I mean, it's not a stoppage, but the fact that he went 5 rounds in Mexico City against RDA is impressive for me. And then that Lando Venata fight, a good example of chaos. You know, he could have quite easily thrown that fight away. That was actually supposed to be a different opponent. I think he was supposed to be fighting. Yes, he was supposed to be fighting Michael Chiesa that night, and it was switched, and he fought Lando Venata on short notice. And it was a mad fight, and he took too many risks in that one. And if he takes those risks against Beneil Dariush, he will pay for it. You know, Dariush has got good power in his hands. He does hit hard, especially when he's hurt, especially when he's backed up and under pressure. But I see many more opportunities. And the thing is, I know, like Tony Ferguson, so he's 26-5 with 12 KOs and 8 submissions. So, you know, he's stopped 20 of his 26 wins. Dariush, on the other end, is 5 knockouts and 8 submissions. So, you know, equally a decent finishing rate, but less knockouts. In recent fights, though, he's starting to find his range and his rhythm with his striking. You know, maybe he's just turned a corner with his whole MMA game. Maybe he's got more confidence in his striking in his last 6 fights. I don't know, but you know, I mean, that Drakkar close fight was just so much fun to watch. You know, while it lasted, and the back and forth and the left hand that he landed on close was quite spectacular and completely changed the momentum of the fight. And you know, a bit of chaos, which is perfect for someone like Tony Ferguson, spinning back fist against Holtzman as well. But then, you know, you look back into early on in his career, you know, he does well against tall guys. You know, James Vick is a very long range fighter. You know, amazing that he was ever able to make lightweight, but couldn't deal with that swarming pressure of Dariush, who kept separating and throwing power over the top. You've got to think, you know, if Tony Ferguson does get cut or he does get backed up, or, you know, he decides he wants to grapple with Dariush and he gets tired, he might be on the end of one of those power punches. And it's much more of a one shot and then you're in serious trouble with Dariush than it is for Tony Ferguson. Ferguson will hurt you and grapple with you because you've shot on him. Dariush will hurt you and knock you down and then jump on you and strangle you.